the things I want are to stop the Typhon, obviously, and to stop and to save as many people as possible. The basic reason to do the Nullwave plan is essentially, I think, has a better chance of working.
If the idea hasn't occurred to you, I'm sure it will eventually.
What?
Don't do it. I can't predict what would happen if you scan the Apex, but all my models point to suffering.
Right, okay, yes. Indeed, coming into mental contact with the very big Typhon does seem like a bad idea. I'll take January's advice on this one. That's fine. I mean, there was a tendril I could have scanned just now, but... Okay, I'm just going to backlash and run through here. Yep, 3 cystoids popped on me, but it's okay. Whoop. Got him, I think. Poltergeist, oh dear. What does it look like, the shape in the glass? He's quoting Matthias Cole there. Yeah, there's still some secrets left in this game, yet to reveal themselves. Mysteries unsolved. I guess it's not too surprising there are freaking Typhon everywhere now. Just gotta be careful as I make my way through containment. Through containment. I wonder, yes, Aaron Ingram, is he owned? I hope not. Oh no. Is this a tendril? Ah, fuck. Okay, just get beamed. Beam, okay, yes. Ah! Ah! Okay, well, there's temporarily silent. There's the central chamber. There's Aaron Ingram. Yeah, I'll just leave him alone and go around the other way. If I go near him, I think bad things might happen to him. Not me, I wouldn't be doing the bad things, I just think they might happen anyway. Pop, 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 and I've completely blown up everything in the surrounding region, so let's not go back there. Hey! Ignore the morgue. This should lead me around to... Oh, more cystoids. Pop them! I didn't pop them. Let's do it again. That popped them. Mostly. Not really sure what the difference was. Okay, let's heal and sigh and stuff. I'm just kind of using all my resources since this is the end of the game, I'm pretty sure. If we... In theory, in some kind of non-game design world, if we activate the Mega Nullwave and it doesn't work, it doesn't wipe out the Typhon, we can then proceed to plan destroy the station. It's simply better to do that first. Further, Nullwave plan, as opposed to blow up station and have to hope people get on shuttle plan, has a better chance of preserving the information that people will need to fight the Typhon in future. Oh. So, ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I'm not really on Igwe's or Alex's side per se. I mean, the way Alex puts it, cystoids, where? The way Alex puts it is that we can use the Mega Nullwave to solve this problem and fix everything without destroying everything we've created. I think he's delusional about that. I think what they created was inherently always going to be destroyed because it was the fruit of a poisoned tree, as I put things in legalistic terms. There are the cystoid nests that I don't want to get zapped by. But that didn't activate it. And the truth has to come out in terms of what they did and what they were trying to achieve, and people can judge that. As Morgan says in the video, people will judge us. But that doesn't mean that the blunt instrument of a massive explosion is the safer thing to do. It's just premised on hope, basically. This may be it. I saved game. I have saved the game again. Let's deploy it.
Kill them.
Adrenaline. And another dose of Morgan's cell lines.
Cobalt. A dose of Morgan.
That should do it.
We're totally in a simulation, aren't we?
We can finish this thing once and for all.
Totally 100% in a simulation.
Alex's plan succeeds.
Then what?
You're taking a massive gamble that there aren't more predators like the Typhon.
No, I'm
In
not.
the history of the universe, humans have only recently become self-aware. Yet you're going to kick the door open on a much wider and older cosmic ecology. One that feeds on consciousness. These are shark-infested waters. Alex believes we can be the bigger shark. But what if we're just poor swimmers, and now there's blood in the water?
This is January's running up against the limits of his programming here. Morgan may well have had in January these qualms, this paranoia. Not that it's totally out of the question, this idea, but we won't make ourselves safer with a lack of knowledge. Oh, will we? Am I repeating now Morgan's own justifications? October. Has February become October? Ugh, not sure. I think ultimately what I object to on Talos 1 was the secrecy, the manipulation, the human sacrifices. I don't object to the fact that they studied and learned from the Typhon and tried to develop abilities and gather the knowledge we would need to deal with this alien ecology. That stuff is not the problem. Neuromods are questionable. Neuromods we could ditch, I think. We probably could live without those. Very useful, but questionable. But that's not the only form of knowledge. Yep. I don't agree with January Morgan. I certainly don't agree with December Morgan's attempt to run away and just leave this problem to solve itself. And as for October, I don't fully agree with October. I don't think that the attempt to make humanity some kind of new predator species, something can sort of stand up to and directly fight the Typhon, is reasonable or worth the cost they were prepared to pay for it. But I think the null-wave device is actually a good example of the alternative, basically. The null-wave device does not require you to take any kind of... it doesn't require you to feed people to alien monsters. It doesn't require anyone to have their brains rewritten. This doesn't look safe. It doesn't even require exotic materials. It's just technology developed from studying the Typhon, which can interact with their ecology and their powers and so on, and fight back against them, shut them down. That is just an unalloyed positive. If the Typhon exists in the galaxy, and if they've found us once, there's no reason they couldn't do it again. If they exist, we need something like the null wave. So, using the big null wave is, I think, the better option compared to the attempt to close our eyes against the darkness, blow up Talos 1 and hope that nobody anywhere else ever does this again? And that the Typhon don't find us again, and they aren't already in Seattle, and yeah, no. Toward the bridge, then. Still haven't heard from Dahl. That might be okay, though, because, again, another reason to prefer the big null wave plan is that it does not require his cooperation. If the Typhon can be destroyed, Talos 1 will not actually explode, and people won't need to flee it quite so assiduously. Although that might be a little, might be unrealistic, over-optimistic on my part. Yeah, I'm not going to scan that. The station is still kind of absolutely falling to pieces. It's probably been crushed enough by all the stuff we've done that it's not really fit for human habitation anymore. Certainly the Arboretum isn't. Basically, it's possible that everyone needs to imminently flee in the shuttle anyway. This is, I think, an orthogonal question to the question of Apex. Apex. So cool looking, but also not good. Oh, way. Let's get to the bridge quickly. Quickly and fast. The way the grav shafts interact with microgravity is actually very convenient. Here we go. So, no more questions about what the right choice is in the circumstances, given the options we have. Activating the device is the way to go. What the implications this may have for the simulation I believe we're in, I'm not so sure. It's a simulated choice, I guess. Oh, hello.
Morgan, Igwe, what's the update on our patient?
Commander Dahl is making a speedy recovery, and we are making our way to the shuttle bay. I've informed him of the threat to the station, and...
Fine. Morgan, I'll meet you in the shuttle bay.
Cool. Okay, I'll be heading to the shuttle bay shortly. Aha, it's... oh, shit.
What the hell have you done?
I simply acted on
Yeah,
Morgan's orders.
okay.
Nonsense. You're a miss.
Morgan,
You're up.
I remembered they explode. Rest in peace,
You made the right choice.
one version of Morgan.
The terminal's linked up again. It should only take a few seconds for a signal to propagate through the Carl and lobotomize every Typhon on Talos 1, including the big one outside. The rest of us should get away with a mild headache. I'll let you do the honors, but you better hurry.
I've got a lot of Typhon stuff in my head. I hope it's a mild headache,
The
but
right choice.
that's good.
The terminal's linked up.
What is a neuromod? Well, it's both an easy answer and a complicated one at the same time.
It's a shuttle flying away to Earth.
It is the future, today. More importantly, our past, today. This is the work TranStar does. Every employee working together. It's immortality. And it is beautiful.
Immortality for those who can afford neuromods and don't have paraplexis. And it was developed based on mass casualties, but the Typhon at least are defeated. I hope they stay that way. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Interesting. So, I guess we have some survivors here rebuilding the station. I'm surprised. If that's the ending, I guess it's not affected by a lot of other stuff you've done. That's a bit disappointing if so. Right. This appears to... Hang on, what's that? Something's running frantically. Maybe this is actually showing the moment things went wrong. Okay, yeah. This is not depicting a post-ending sequence. This is what happened on Telos 1. Yeah. Bad times. Cool looking, but bad. Prey 2017. Gameplay was fantastic. Like, just really good single situation, multiple approaches stuff. You know, enormous number of interacting systems, things you can do, things the world has in it, things enemies can do, and the way they interact with each other. You really get to, you know, play your way is a catchphrase that's often used. Hello, Weaver. Ooh, nasty. The level design is very good also. A key part of a building game like this is the combination of... You need some degree of linearity for the game structure to make sense, and a lot of freedom for it to be fun, and they did both of those things. Telos 1 is very well designed. It becomes a bit of a chore towards the end when you're moving back and forth a lot. Particularly the way I was playing when I was trying to deal with this situation where I was like, oh, who can I and can't I save? But, it's a bit of a shame if that doesn't add it up to anything. Yeah, so I like the setting and characters a lot. Well, I like the setting, a lot of the characters are fine. And the story of the game is good, but it's not as flexible or satisfying as an RPG story would be. I didn't feel like I had all that much narrative agency. And the world did change in response to my actions, but not always in predictable ways or consistent ones. And it seems like, you know, the things I've done have not added up to an enormous amount in terms of consequences. Well, let's just see if I can click through this. Skip spacebar. Oh, I don't want to, because this song rules. On the rim, the innocence. It comes. Do 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 do. Do you follow? Where do you lead? Clean hands, a fire to feed. Yeah, I feel like there's a lack of closure. Maybe they've rushed in development at the end of the game, or maybe the options I chose lead you to an ending with that lack of closure. Because I guess if you're working with Alex and doing what he wants, it's kind of just resetting everything and you continue from there. He will assuredly try to cover things up and keep making neuromods, and you don't get to choose whether Morgan will go along with that. I don't know, though. I'm disappointed that Michaela was going to leave on the shuttle and expose everything, and is that just not... I guess we can use our imagination as to whether this happened. Yeah, I'm kind of dissatisfied with degree of control over outcomes. It's overall a very good game. The core loops are amazing. The skill system is so good. The Typhon powers are very good, but you don't actually need them. You can play without them. The human level stuff is good, and it would be a sort of a challenge mode, and presumably January would be happy. What else do I have to say about Prey 2017? Constantly qualifying this since it has no relationship to Prey 2006. Well, I liked it a lot. It kind of... I don't want to say it fell apart towards the end exactly, because there were some parts of the end which were very good. Sequences, like all of Dahl's stuff, except for the security people's reaction to him, was great. Like the sense of pressure and the traps he's laying for you and the armies and sending. Cool stuff. And like meeting Alex and having the big Typhon attack, great, and then you have to make a final choice. Yep. So it's not that the game as a whole fell apart at the end. The sense of urgency increased and it was fun. The story fell apart at the end, though. It just kind of... I don't know, I wasn't expecting a sort of RPG-style end screen. Here's what happened to all the characters, but it felt like I was making choices which should matter. Things like, you know, the shuttle being sent to Earth. I mean, the shuttle Advent here, not the shuttle that was piloted by Dahl. And instead we get a brief cutscene which seemed to imply that Alex's plan was being carried out, and presume it's you know, you can kind of make your own mind up as to whether Morgan continued to be involved in it, and but that seems to be the way it goes from there. I guess part of the problem there is that I disagree with some of the premises of the game. It seemed like destroying Talos was supposed to be the safe thing to do, but it doesn't make sense. Oh, now entering a hidden location. Okay, there's something else here. Looking Glass 3.5, the portable headset.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It
Simulation.
probably thinks it was dreaming, and nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it.
Look at the hands
two.
here.
It all comes
These are-
down to the choices it made.
Phantom's hands.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise, and later it recovered the Leitner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Da, while perhaps for purely selfish reasons.
Yeah, it was pretty
At
selfish.
least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos 1.
Principle.
Michaela,
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite
Okay.
the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics.
So
Ingram.
there is a summing up.
would you
thing.
let it live?
How interesting. Okay, I am actually happy again now.
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
Sarah.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help. And it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station.
Why is everyone
That has to be a
operators?
good
Where's the
sign.
real Morgan? What is...
Further, it thwarted Dawn's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. There were a lot of humans controlled by the Typhon that it could have harmed. Seems like it went out of its way to avoid that.
This is actually really cool.
I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to activate the null-wave device. Why? To preserve the Typhon technology? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
This actually redeems the
But we had
whole
to make a
stuff I was
choice.
talking about in the credits quite a
You can
lot.
hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something. What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories.
I wonder, is Morgan dead and was this phantom made from his body, or is this something they did more deliberately?
Is the world today.
Ah, fuck.
We spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do.
Well, I don't want to kill it. They're completely inconsistent. Let's try and salvage.
We're gonna shake things up, like old times.
Cool. Okay. I got some stats here. They played for 56 hours. Wow. I don't know if that includes loaded games. Rescued 19 people, but killed someone. That'd be the volunteer guy. Installed a lot of neuromods and lots of abilities. That appears to be the actual ending of the game. Okay. Yes. I like it. You know, cancel some of the stuff I said before. I'm not sure that this is like the ideal way to make a game ending, but it's cool, and it's not like it wasn't foreshadowed, and the stuff you did was judged to have mattered by different people in different ways. It wasn't the game narrative telling us here's what happens next. It was, you know, the simulation operators. I suppose the idea is that in the far future, well, not in the future, the Typhon having, you know, attacked Earth, those operators could be, you know, the brain-scanned versions of dead people, or they could be just remotely piloted or something. And who knows whether Morgan's alive in that timeline or not? It doesn't matter. It's all over now. It's, we were playing, as I theorized repeatedly, as a Typhon, which was given Morgan's some of Morgan's, you know, human DNA or whatever, developing memories through a simulation, and developing empathy with humans and learning to communicate with them, thus producing hope for the future. At least because I played in a hopeful way. The game did, in fact, take notice of that. Good enough. So thanks for watching. This has been Prey 2017. In the Typhon-infested Earth of the future. I hope you too survive.